What's going on, guys? BouseFeenux here, and welcome to another absolute beginner's guide. This time, we're taking a look at the sword and shield, and I gotta say, I was a little worried about the charge blade video, but you guys really seem to appreciate it, and the comments were super positive, so I figured I'd start working on videos for the other weapons I know, and eventually, we will cover all 14 of them. That being said, today I want to take a look at Sword and Shield, or SNS for short. Now, if you've played Monster Hunter Generations or Monster Hunter Double Cross, the Sword and Shield is a bit different and feels almost a little underwhelming at first coming into World. Without the sword oils and hunter arts from the previous games, this version of the SNS is a bit more simplified, but don't mistake that for it being bad. The Sword and Shield is still an extremely versatile weapon, and with the right setup, it's a master of inflicting status effect. Now, Monster Hunter World and the previous Monster Hunter games for that matter have always touted this weapon as a weapon for beginners, and to be honest, I really hate that, because in any other game, that means that it'll pretty much only be good for early game content, and after you get comfortable with it, you'll move on from there. Please don't think of the Sword and Shield this way. I know many vets that main this weapon, and they're extremely deadly hunters when using it. It's also very useful at any level of the game. Now that being said, it does have a low barrier to entry, which is nice compared to some other weapons, and it's a lot easier to pick up and play with, but it is difficult to become effective with, so keep that in mind. With that being said though, let's take a look at what the weapon offers and list some of the pros and cons. For the pros, the SNS offers high attack speed, meaning that elemental swords and shields or swords and shields with status ailments like sleep or poison are going to give you the most bang for your buck. Being a small weapon, the SNS also has very high mobility, and you get the added bonus of having a shield for guarding. Lastly, the shield is used in attacking on this weapon in tandem with the sword and does KO damage, which is a huge plus if you know what you're doing. For the cons, the sword and shield does have a very short attack range, and for some taller monsters, this can often be problematic. On top of that, your overall damage for each hit is fairly low, but the potential for DPS is very high. Lastly, while you do have a shield, it's more for attacking than for defending. With SNS, you basically have the second weakest guard in the game, with Greatsword being the weakest, so rely on your high mobility if you can. But now that we got that out of the way, let's head over to the training area and I'll show you guys the moveset. Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome to the training area. We got our sword and shield here, ready to go. And before we get hacking away, there's a couple things that I want to show you real quick. The sword and shield has a couple of mechanics that are unique to it, and the first one is the ability to use items without putting your weapon away. This is really nice. So all you have to do that is hold R2 to guard and then square to use whatever item you want to use. Notice we didn't put our weapon away before using that, and we didn't put it away afterwards. So that's really nice there. And then the next thing you've got is the ability to use your slinger without putting your weapon away. Now I notice this doesn't seem like a huge deal because we have the radial menu now, but back in the day in previous Monster Hunter games, this is a big deal. Not having to put your weapon away to use an item was a huge bonus, and one of the big reasons to play Sword and Shield. So, now that we got that out of the way though, let's talk about some of the basic combos and more advanced combos and some of the things that this weapon is capable of. So, standing still, you've got a nice triangle, triangle, triangle combo, and that looks like this. Now notice that last hit there with the Sword and Shield combo uses the shield, hence the name, and that does a little bit of stun damage to the monster if you're hitting it in the head. So that's really important to note, is to deal stun damage, usually you've got to hit the monster in the head. So nice triangle, triangle, triangle combo there. Quick combo, does a little bit of damage, you get some stun damage in there, which really adds up if you're really hammering away on the monster's head. And then we have a stationary circle combo. Gives us the lateral slash, the return stroke, and that nice sexy round slash to finish everything off with. Now that's a lot more of a powerful combo. You can see there the damage numbers are a bit higher, but it is a little bit slower. So you got to time that one a little easier, or a little better than the triangle, triangle, triangle. Now the cool thing is you can chain into these. So if you do the triangle, 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 you can do the circle, circle, circle combo right after it if you're standing still. Now if you move forward and do the circle combo, you get your shield bashes. There you go, you have your shield attack, your shield bash, and your hard bash. If you hit the monster in the head, these do really good stun damage. So you can chain your triangle combo into this as well. There you go. Get a nice backstep, we'll cover that here in a second. But that is pretty much it. So just to review, you have your triple triangle combo, your triple circle combo. You can chain into the circle combo from the triangle combo. And you can chain into the bash combo from the triangle combo. So if the monster is exhausted and it's just standing there, this is a really good combo to do. You get the 3 hits, and you get tons of stun damage. And if he's already exhausted, there's a really good chance you're going to get the KO on him. Now, another thing to note too is the shield bash combo does have Mind's Eye. It'll never bounce off the monster no matter how hard it is. So we'll check out our hard barrel over here. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but you see that we don't bounce off, whereas our sword attacks do bounce off. So there you have it. Now, a couple of embellishments on this, I guess you would say. We have the gap closer attacks, which you see up there in the top left. That's the advancing slash, and there's 2 ways you can do that. First, with your weapon drawn, you can press triangle circle, and then after that, you get a little bit different of a combo. You get the short shield bash, the chop, the side slash, and then the sword and shield combo. So you get 2 little shield bashes in there. So triangle circle, and then you can go into your circle attack, or you can go into that new, slightly different triangle combo as well, and then into the circle slash as well. So there's a lot of ways you can chain into that circle combo. And then you can obviously do the triangle combo from here into the shield bash combo as well. So pretty much 3 or 4 little combos there, but there's a lot of different ways to get into them and a lot of ways to kind of mix it up against the monster. Now, we did see the advancing slash here. There's another way to do that. Like I said, if you sprint and just press triangle, that gives you the advancing slash as well. If you do the advancing slash while jumping off a ledge, you get a unique jumping attack. And you can chain that into a jumping slash. So that's pretty much 3 inputs there. You have the advancing slash, the jumping slash, and then the jumping advancing slash. That's kind of how that works. So that does a lot of mounting damage to a monster. Now that we got those out of the way, let's talk about finishers real quick. If you press triangle circle during the triangle, triangle, triangle combo, or after an advancing slash, you get a nice little round slash there. So at any point in the triangle combo, you can do this round slash just by pressing triangle circle. So you can do it as a finisher. You can do it in the middle of a combo if you want. And you're pretty much good to go there. You can also do this combo in the middle of a circle combo, but you can't do it at the end of a circle combo, because I'll show you what happens. You just end up doing a back step, which we'll talk about here now. So to get to a back step, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it at the end of a circle, circle, circle combo after the round slash. And you can do it during certain other combos. So you can do it after a round slash or after an advancing slash by holding back and the circle button. You want to try to get this move in as much as possible, because it does huge mounting damage, it does really good damage, and it also has Mind's Eye. So it'll never bounce off of a monster. And you have 2 options after you land this as well. So you can do another slash when you land. We'll show you that. So you go up, and you get the jumping slash if you press triangle while you're in the air. Or you can do this awesome falling bash that does tons of stun damage to a monster if you hit it on the head. So if you know you're going to be able to hit the head of the monster, you definitely want to go for the falling bash, because it's probably going to knock the monster out in a lot of cases if you've done enough stun damage to him already. So to get into that again, you can just press back circle after pretty much any basic attack, and that gives you the back step. A good way to jump in and out of a fight is just to do the advancing slash, back step out, do the charge slash, and you're pretty much good to go. You're going to be doing a lot of mounting damage to the monster with that charge slash if you get the falling slash on him. So let's review real quick. Let's take it from the top, and I'll show you guys everything we got. We got the triangle, triangle, triangle. We've got the stationary circle. We've got the bashing circle. We can get into any of those combos by doing the advancing slash. And we can mix up our combos a little bit by doing back steps and round slashes. So here's the round slash, and you can even chain that into a back step, which is really nice. So a lot of different attack options, a lot of different combos you can sit here and play around with. But for all intents and purposes, that is pretty much it for Sword and Shield. It's a pretty simple weapon. You just got to play around with the combos a bit and remember everything that it can do. And kind of use your best judgment whenever you're in a fight and you know what combo you can execute. So play around with it a little bit. See what combos you really like doing. See what your muscle memory tells you. And have fun. But now that we've gone through the moveset, let's take a look at gear recommendations. Generally, you want a sword and shield with either elemental damage like thunder, fire, water, ice, or dragon, or a status effect like sleep, paralysis, or blast. This is usually the case for faster weapons, as with a quick attack speed, you'll be able to build up those status effects faster. The unfortunate reality to this, though, is that if you really want to get into sword and shield late game, you'll need to pretty much have a good sword and shield of each elemental type and status type to deal with different monsters. But lastly, you want to make sure that you avoid swords and shields with negative affinity. Affinity in Monster Hunter works like this. If you have high affinity, you have a chance of landing stronger attacks, almost like critical hits, and if you have low affinity, you have a chance to land attacks that actually do less damage. And with a fast weapon like Sword and Shield, this can happen often, so you don't want to shortchange yourself when it comes to damage. As for armor stats, you pretty much always want as much attack up as possible, especially since in Monster Hunter World, a higher attack boost skill now gives you an affinity bonus as well. In addition to that, skills that increase affinity are awesome for Sword and Shield. So you'll want to look for the skill called Weakness Exploit, which gives you more affinity when attacking a monster's weak spot, and Critical Eye, which gives you a base increase to affinity overall. Lastly, any skills that increase the type of elemental damage you're doing or increase the buildup of your status effects are great as well. The Rathalos set, which I've been wearing throughout this whole video, is pretty great for this. If you're wearing 3 pieces of it, you get a bonus to elemental crits, and the stats are pretty swell. Plus, it looks pretty freaking sweet, does it not? But that about covers it for Sword and Shield, guys. If you haven't given this weapon a shot yet, don't let its simplicity and a great weapon for beginners tagline fool you. It's a pretty fantastic solo weapon and really shines in a group with the ability to apply status effects rapidly. That's about all I have for you today, though, but if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below, and if you're new here, get subscribed if you haven't already so that you never miss a new video. Also, if you're looking for people to hunt with on Xbox One and PS4, my Discord server is full of helpful people that I'll be more than happy to lend you a hand. You can join that by clicking the link in the description below. Until next time, though, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next one, and as always, thank you so much for watching.